So, is there a way around having to buy a new property survey for $400 or $500? The answer is yes. You can take the prior survey and get the seller, the current owner of the property, to sign a survey affidavit, which is attesting to no new improvements have been made since that survey was done. In other words, no new building on the exterior of the property, no pool added, nothing that would affect the perimeter dimensions of the property. So that survey affidavit is acceptable as opposed to getting a new survey. But the final call on that is the underwriter, because the underwriter is the one issuing the Florida Form 9 endorsement if there's a loan involved. And if they look at public records and they see evidence that maybe a pool was added after that survey, or there's some evidence that a permit was pulled for new construction that looks like outside stuff, the underwriters will deny the survey affidavit from the current owner, and they will require a new survey. So the question is, can you close a property without a survey and just get an owner's title insurance policy? If it's cash, the answer is yes. If it's financing, the answer is likely no, because the lender is going to want a lender's policy, which means you need a survey. But going back to the cash transaction, nothing requires you to get a survey. But on the title policy, it won't cover you for things that we might discover in a survey. So we make an exception in section B2 that actually deletes any coverage that might be associated with knowledge gained from the survey. A popular question from sellers and buyers is, do we have to get an owner's title policy in a transaction? The answer is no, if it's a cash transaction. If it's a cash transaction, it's done on a form called a HUD-1. Everybody's heard of a HUD closing statement. Well, we still use a HUD-1 for cash transactions. So if you're using a cash transaction, or you're in a cash transaction, you can do anything you want to do because there's no regulatory agencies like the CFPB, the Consumer Federal Protections Bureau, looking out for somebody with a loan. There is no loan. So you don't need a survey. You don't need an owner's title policy. But from the perspective of risk, in my opinion, in the opinion of any title licensee or owner of a title company or underwriter, you do want both a survey and a owner's title policy when you're closing any real estate transaction, whether it's cash or financing. So we're talking about the Florida Form 9 endorsement that the title insurance underwriter gives to the lender, which is really a survey, because we can't give the Florida Form 9 endorsement without seeing a survey, because we couldn't take that risk because we have no idea what's on the survey, right? I'm going to read you some of my notes about what the Florida Form 9 covers. So let's talk about it just for a second. Pardon my reading, but it's a long list. Homeowners associations, city ordinances, community assessments, condominium documents, and general CCRs, which is the covenants and restrictions, mineral rights, property encroachments, property setbacks, adjacent property encroachments, and other CCR restrictions that may cause the lender's first position or priority of the loan or the associated Florida lender's policy to be in jeopardy in less than full effect. This survey tells everything about the property. It basically ties up or puts into a nice little package where your house is, where the fences are, and all the setbacks and all the restrictions and mineral rights. It connects that to your owner's policy and to the lender's policy. I try to bring simplicity to this industry because it often is so complex that a lot of people pay no attention to the details of title insurance. But thank you for listening to my video series on title insurance. If you find it useful, please share my videos with a friend or subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for listening.